So, all right. So apparently they found some mega structures underneath the pyramids, and I'm pretty hyped about it, just because my dumbass always believed in like the fact that there's gonna be like underground cities all over the pyramid and every all around the world. Like all the pyramids are actually like doorways to underground cities. Like my dumbass believes that. All right. So, like let's read into this. I also wanted to check out this video that claims that they found Atlantis, and come on, bro. This is exciting times we're living in, bro. I also recorded what I believe are aliens. All right, I believe I recorded some aliens or UFOs. Recently, like I was. I'll explain the story later. But anyway, let's hop into it. Boom. All right. So like a few nights ago, I was just driving, right, and as I was coming home, I see two red orbs up in the sky, and I'm just like, "Yo, that's strange." And they're moving synchronized slowly, as you can see, right? And they looked way more closer than what they appeared than they really were. And that's the thing that tripped me out. And so I was like, yo, what the fuck is that? Like, I have never seen these in my life. I think this is like my third instance of seeing like unidentified flying object type stuff, right? This is my third time seeing it. One time I did see like the whole, um the boomerang UFO. I remember I saw that when I was coming out of like the boxing gym, and I look up in the sky, and it was like this night, and I always remember because I was up in the sky and looked up, and it was not a plane, because the planes, you have the red and green light type stuff, but this time it was like a boomerang, and it was just like hovering over, and it was slowly, and I'm just like, yo. And like, at that time, like I was like what, like 13, 12. I didn't have cell phone like that. I really didn't get a cell phone until like I was 19. All right. And so boom, right, that happens. I'm just like, damn, like, and that always has been like engraved into my brain that I actually saw the boomerang UFO. And so, all right, that's one of my first instances. For this one, it's like, oh, I have a phone now. I am ready to go. I have a Galaxy S24, baby. Let's do this. And so I get outside. I start filming it. I tried filming it, but they were not as close as they appeared to be. And as I zoomed in, they were still not close, and I couldn't get the proper clear image, and it frustrated me because then I'm like, fuck it, I'll just take pictures. Bro, tell me why they didn't show up in the pictures. Tell me why they didn't show up in the bro. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, man. I failed all of you, bro. I feel like I failed all of you because I tried my hardest, because I was like, I'm not gonna be one of those guys that, when they see a UFO, like all of a sudden, like, they can't, like, like, you're, I don't know, where you start recording on a potato, right? And so I'm like, I can't be one of those people. If I ever see it, like, I'm gonna be on my shit. Nah, man. Nah. Like, bro, I don't know what was up with these things, but they did not allow you to take proper pictures. And when you did get close to them, they zoomed out way more further than they appeared, bro. And so yeah, man, that's my UFO video for the moment, man. I'm sorry. I failed all of you. I feel like like, I can't believe it. Like, I took pictures. I'm telling, I put it on my soul, bro. I took pictures on these motherfuckers, and they didn't show the fuck up, bro. They didn't show up, man. And I'm just flabbergasted, bro. I'm literally perplexed of what was those things, man. I'm perplexed. Its mystery deepens. Radar finds underground structures twice as deep as the Eiffel Tower, stretches across 2 kilometers. That's insane. Scientists have discovered a large underground structure near the pyramids of Giza using radar technology. Researchers, Corrado Malanga, I think I said it correct, from the University of that place, and Filippo Biondi, I hope I butchered his last name, from the University of that place. They use a synthetic aperture, they use synthetic SAR to scan the area. Their finding reveals a network extending approximately 2 kilometers beneath all three pyramids. Oof. Um, findings findings reveal complex underground systems. Findings reveal a complex underground system. The Khafre Khafre pyramid. I don't know how to say the second one. The second largest structure on the Giza plateau was found to have 5 identical structures near its base. These structures contain multiple levels and were connected by geometric pathways. Damn, complex. Beneath these pathways, 8 vertical cylindrical wells were discovered. Each well was surrounded by descending spiral pathways, reaching depths of up to 648 meters. At the deepest level, the pathways connected to massive cube-shaped structures, each measuring 80 meters per side. Woof. On the pyramid's purpose. It's gonna be interesting. A video released by the Reese Report stated that the discoveries challenged the long-held belief that the pyramids were solely royal tombs. Researchers have previously speculated that the underground system may have served a mechanical or energy-related function. Ooh, that's pretty dope. With theories proposed by figures such as Nikola Tesla and Christopher Dunn. Tesla, known for his work on electricity and wireless energy, suggested that the pyramids might harness Earth's natural energy. Christopher Dunn, in his book of the Giza Power Plant, proposed that the Great Pyramid functioned as a machine converting vibrations into usable energy. Yo, dude, imagine that, bruh. Like, imagine that. Like, you know, like Graham Hancock says, like we're a civilization with like amnesia or something like that, because like he believes that these pyramids and stuff like that are like way more older than we think. And yeah, no, it might be true, bro, because imagine like these guys are, if this is true, right, they had electricity, energy. Imagine like what if like it turns out that all these pyramids are not the age that we speculate. It turns out they're like way more thousands and thousands of years back, right? And they had electricity and they had natural resources, and not ones that we use at the current moment, where we are sapping the energy in Earth's life force like we do now. Like they were using it in like a more cleaner, sustainable way, but you know, we never know what happens, and that's where we lost our memory. Egyptologists maintain the pyramids were built around 2500 BCE using conventional methods. However, the newly discovered structures, along with the mathematical anomalies in the pyramid's design, have led to renewed discussions about their true purpose. Yeah, like, man, that'd be crazy. Like, look, what I'm thinking is like, what if all the pyramids have this, right? Like we were really like a way more advanced society and a civilization, and then something happened and we got amnesia and we forgot. Investigation faces challenges. The Cafe Project team has shown interest in conducting excavations to further investigate the underground structures. However, securing approval for such research remains uncertain. Egypt has historically restricted archaeological digs that challenge the official accounts of the pyramid's origins and functions. Yeah, that's the thing, bro. You want to preserve that type of stuff, man, because you know, what if like what if you do something and next thing you know, the whole thing just collapses? I'd be pissed. I'd be very, very pissed. The new findings contribute to ongoing debates about the pyramid's purpose. Alongside existing questions about their construction, mainstream archaeologists believe that pyramids were built around 2500 BCE using conventional methods. Now, me personally, I love the idea of the aliens and the giants help build like the pyramids, like in that AI video. But like recently I stumbled across the video on Reddit, and there was this dude that was moving these big ass rocks.
This is a 1,600-pound block. Not too difficult.
He's a retired construction worker whose passion is moving heavy items.
Probably a simple explanation for this, to move a block about the weight of a minivan, would be to place a stone underneath it. And once I balance on it, I can spin it. Of course, with that spin, you've seen I didn't go anywhere. But I got two handles on my lever, and I could place another stone on this side. Now, every time I spin a half rotation on each stone, I move the block horizontally, the distance between the stones. For my own output, I could move a one-ton block 300 feet per hour.
Using this technique, he's moved everything from one-ton blocks to buildings.
He moved up to a pole barn at one point, a 30 by 40 pole barn that he moved 300 feet for me, and it was more or less, you know, what else can we move? And he looked at me and says, hey, can we move your barn? And I said, sure, let's, you know. Next thing you know, it was 300 feet in the other direction onto another piece of property.
It can move barns.
You know, that was pretty hype, bro. I was just like, you know what? Maybe they did build them. Maybe the Egyptians really did build these pyramids just by using this type of stuff. And so, that's pretty hype. That's pretty right hype. The research team hopes to excavate the site for further investigation, but approval from Egypt authorities is uncertain. Egypt has a history of archaeological restricting archaeological digs and the challenge established narratives. Was that it? That's it? Come on, man. There got to be some more stuff.
Corrado Malanga from the University of Pisa and Filippo Biondi, involved in radar and remote sensing research with the University of Strathclyde, published peer-reviewed research in 2022 via MDPI entitled Synthetic Aperture Radar Doppler Tomography Reveals Details of Undiscovered High-Resolution Internal Structure of the Great Pyramid of Giza.
All right. Wow,
was
2022.
Using SAR data, synthetic aperture radar, along with proprietary software developed by Filippo Biondi that transforms the radar signals into phononic information, which allows for the detection of millimetric vibrations. This cutting-edge technology is capable of revealing underground structures invisible to traditional methods and revealed internal structures never seen before. Having established their expertise in using SAR to explore pyramid structures non-invasively, a recent press release on their current project was released last Saturday. This March 15th press release summarized the key findings in the team's research of the second largest pyramid of the Giza Plateau, known as the Khafre Pyramid. And what they found was astonishing.
What's up?
The analysis of dozens of tomographic SAR images obtained from different angles enabled the 3D reconstruction of inside the pyramid of Khafre and deep beneath the surface of the plateau.
What the hell?
Near the base of the pyramid, 5 identical structures are seen, connected by geometric pathways. Inside each of these are 5 horizontal levels and a sloping roof. Below these 5 structures are 8 cylindrical structures, which appear to be vertical wells, hollow inside, and surrounded by descending spiral pathways. These 8 vertically aligned cylindrical structures, arranged in 2 parallel rows from north to south, descend to a depth of 648 meters, where they all merge into 2 large cubic structures, measuring approximately 80 meters per side. The entire structure extends approximately 2 kilometers beneath the surface and extends beneath all 3 pyramids of the Giza Plateau complex. Mainstream Egyptology tells us that the Giza pyramids were tombs for pharaohs Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure.
Yeah, no, this looks like batteries though. Like, this looks like something like, these look like something like, that would harvest energy or emit energy or something like that, man. Like, yo, you can't tell me you don't, bro. Yo, or what if they're actually like just spirals to another like I don't know, like another type of like environment and stuff like that, like in was it Godzilla versus King Kong, right, where they go into the hollow earth and it's like a whole nother like world basically. What if it's like that, man? Like, this finding is so interesting, bro. It really is, bro. It's super high.
The entire structure extends approximately 2 kilometers. SAR data asked. Nikola Tesla shows what appears to be a mechanical or functional system, and this has been hypothesized in the past. Nikola Tesla believed that the pyramids could harness Earth's natural frequencies. This arguably inspired his experiments in wireless energy transmission.
That's such a trippy video.
Waves.
I mean, picture.
In
I could
the
never.
Giza power plant, Christopher Dunn argued that the Great Pyramid was a power-generating machine using resonant and acoustic forces to convert mechanical stress into electricity. In the Giza Death Star, Joseph Farrell proposed that the Great Pyramid of Giza was a weapon of mass destruction using a type of physics that he calls paleophysics to focus energy as a scalar weapon. The cylindrical wells...
Nah, bro, we're living in One Piece. We're living in One Piece, the ancient weapons. Yo, ain't no way. Imagine, bro. Imagine if like aliens actually did come to this earth and like created the pyramids so that way we could defend ourselves from invading like other invading like aliens or something like that, right? What a trip would that be, bro? Like, yeah, no, this is crazy, bro. That'd be insane, bruh.
Could be conduits for energy or sound waves, and the cubic structures might serve as energy storage or stabilization units, akin
I would like to think they're
components
energy
in a large-scale weapon
harnessed.
or generator. And the detection of vibrations in the pyramid's internal structures reflects all of these ideas. The Khafre project hopes to plan an excavation in order to discover more about this underground structure. But history shows that this will be very difficult to get approval for. Greg Reese reporting.
Yo, that's so hype, bro. That is super duper hype, bro. I'm excited. So let's go over to this dude that claims he found Atlantis. This guy says that the Eye of the Sahara is actually Atlantis. So let's check this video out.
In this video, I'm going to share several astonishing new details that have come to light involving the topic of the lost ancient city of Atlantis and the Eye of the Sahara, which in just the last few years has taken the internet by
I mean, in the way that Atlantis is described in so many books, like you could see, like, bro, yeah, this could be it, bro. Like, I've never heard of the Eye of the Sahara, to be honest, until I came across like a video like this, and it's like Eye of Sahara, and it's like, you Google it, and you're like, whoa, this thing looks like it could be it. Like, that's crazy.
As this unbelievably bizarre structure just so happens to match a dozen of the most significant similarities to Plato's description of the famed lost capital city of Atlantis. But perhaps the only thing stranger than these striking comparisons is the fact that the Richat structure itself remains a genuine scientific mystery that continues to confound scientists to this day, as this one-of-a-kind geological feature is like no other place found anywhere else on Earth and has remained essentially hidden and
That's so cool, bro. Earth is gotta be it's so cool, man. We're a bunch of idiots, but damn it, we live on a beautiful ass planet, man.
largely unknown within the remote Western Sahara Desert of Mauritania, which only makes its distinctive nature that much more curious when you consider that so few people have still never seen or heard of it before,
Yep, I'm one of
even
them.
including the most curious and inquisitive minds around.
But let me ask you this, Joe, real quick. When you saw my video, was that the very first time you had ever seen this thing before?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
And that is the thing, because if
It is
nothing
crazy.
else, this extraordinarily unique anomaly should be included on the list of natural wonders of the world.
Facts.
But nevertheless, and observe what it annotates here.
Atlantis.
Atlantia, or Atlantiae, which more or less appears as Atlanteans, and again, in the same geographical region of the Richat structure, which,
Yep.
like I've shared in my prior videos, just so happens to coincidentally match so many precise details that Plato described of Atlantis, including that the capital city was famously said to be made up of concentric circles, specifically 3 rings of water and 2 of land, which correctly matches the Richat with water in it, which it certainly did, as I will prove to you with hard scientific data in just a moment. But the circular ring city was also said to have an opening to the sea at the south, which not only matches the southerly opening of the Richat and
Yo, no, this is so trippy, bro, because like these last two things, right? The Atlantis and the pyramid things, just like they open the door to like what else is out there, bro. Like it opens the door to the thought of like, whoa, what if there is like a civilization under the earth, or we live in like a hollow earth type of thing, or giants and stuff like that. Like it opens the door to these things, bro. It does, bro. Like we have a long history. We've been on this planet for a cool minute. Things come and go. Things decay. Like we're not gonna get everything, but dang, what we can get is gonna be super insane, bro. I'm excited.
But it even has existing evidence of a flow of salt water that is still visible to this day, which, and again, I will prove with hard scientific evidence shortly. But Atlantis was also said to be surrounded by a large rectangular plain, which is another arguable similarity that extends for hundreds of miles on both sides of the Richat. But furthermore, Atlantis was said to be made of black, red, and white color stones, which is another specifically unique
No
similarity
way,
that
bro.
matches the geological nature of the Richat.
No freaking way. Oh man, hold on. Yo, my camera wasn't even on this whole entire time. My fault, y'all. My fault. That's
Atlantis
crazy.
was said to be made of black, red, and white color stones, which is another specifically unique similarity that matches the geological nature of the Richats.
That is so
And
cool.
speaking of uniquely specific geological features, this next detail that I recently learned of blew me away, as there is English literature from the year 1851 on the Preliminary Treatise of Resources of Ancient Mauritania, which describes the country as having gold in considerable quantities and even specifically states, and I quote, that it is a well-authenticated fact that previous to the discovery of America, Europe was supplied to a great extent with gold from Mauritania. How have I never heard of this before? And
Me neither.
get this, Mauritania was
Musa
so
Musa?
rich in gold that several hundred years
Mansa Musa. Ah, yes. One of the richest mans that ever lived. I read about Mansa Musa, and brother, oh brother, like, dude changed the economy wherever he went, right? This dude used to build churches, and next thing you know, like, the economy shifted every time he decided to, like, pull up at a place. The economy shifted. Imagine being that powerful and rich. That's crazy, bro. Right? And at least he gave away some. I think he gave away. He was giving out gold like it was like nothing, bro. Like he was giving out gold to like everybody. What the fuck, bro? What
ago,
the
a
fuck?
king by the name of Mansa Musa of the Mali Empire, which was a region of Africa that includes modern-day Mauritania, was said to have been the richest man in all of human history.
Yup.
So rich that he far exceeds the richest billionaires alive today. In fact, he owned gold
Yo, wasn't Elon Musk actually like the richest dude for like a cool minute, a month ago? Like, wasn't he worth like 600 bill? Bruh. That's weird.
mines, which account for more than half of the world's supply of
Like, the thing that trips me out is like that much wealth and power, bruh. Like, whoa, man. It's a trip. It's a trip.
gold today. And by the way, something else you'll find interesting related to that 1851 Treatise of Ancient Mauritanian Resources is that it describes ancient Mauritania of having an abundance of elephant ivory, which is a significant detail considering that Atlantis was said to have numerous elephants on the island. And so it's worth mentioning that there is also
I didn't know about that. That's
existing
crazy.
cave
Really.
art depicting elephants in the area around the Richat as well, as I've shared previously. But I digress because
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I don't see it. I see that you see it, but I don't see it. I don't see it, bro. This looks like I don't know what it is, bro. I don't know what this is. Is this supposed to be the tail? Or is this the elephant right here? Right? And you lost me on that one, brother.
in the area around the Richat as well, as I've shared previously. But I digress because another highly specific feature of Atlantis was that its center island was described as being geothermal in nature, and that it was said to have hot springs as well as springs of cold, fresh water, which is a reason why some have dismissed the dry, barren Richat structure as a possibility for Atlantis. So I imagine that many will find it very interesting to learn that there is a little-known study of the Richat structure dating back to the late 1990s, which describes the Richat as being a hydrothermal complex. Well, hot springs themselves are the very definition of a hydrothermal anomaly. And the fact that there is an actual scientific study corroborating this uniquely specific characteristic is significant in itself, because although the Richat may be a dry, barren place today, we must imagine what a different landscape this region was
That's
some
what I'm thinking.
11 to 12,000 years ago.
Bro, literally Pangea. Like the planet is shifting little by little. It takes forever and ever, but it's shifting, bro. I could imagine like the Sahara Desert being full of like water and stuff like that. How thousands of years ago, you know. I can imagine that, bro. Like this Earth is not gonna look the same in the next like 3,000 years, bro. Like islands will like shift, you know, like our continents will shift dang near, you know, we're drifting still and whatnot, right? So holy crap-a-roonies.
Atlantic Ocean directly in the path of the Eye of the Sahara. And if that isn't fascinating enough, just look at the date of when that river is known to have existed. 11,700 years ago, precisely within the time frame of when Atlantis was said to have been destroyed. Make
Wow.
no mistake, the entire region of the Sahara looked completely different at that time compared to what we see today. And the next few details that I'm going to share may very well blow your mind.
Okay.
Because, like I've shared in multiple prior videos, there is tremendous evidence of vast water erosion throughout the Sahara Desert, which is so extreme that it can be clearly observed from space via satellite imagery.
That's just so amazing, bruh.
Make no mistake, this is not wind erosion and has been confirmed to be catastrophic
Whoa.
levels of water erosion by subject matter experts, including
What
even the
happened?
respected Randall Carlson himself. And the overwhelmingly apparent water striations that rip right through the Richat structure all the way to the Atlantic Ocean are evident for all who have eyes to see. And
Yeah.
upon further study, it looks as if an unimaginably massive force of water had blasted its way from the
Bruh. What the heck happened?
Mediterranean Sea through North Africa, creating a
Wow.
path that just so happens to be at all the lowest elevational points through the Sahara, just as water would naturally direct itself. And this is the part where things get really nuts. Because
What?
there is a little known yet unbelievably fascinating scientific study that revealed a gigantic under-ocean seafloor slide off the coast of Mauritania and is referred to as the Mauritanian Slide, and dates back to approximately 11,000 years ago, give or take, and was, get this, believed to have been created by a tsunami. A tsunami that, given the very nature of its shape, would have originated from the east, as you can see from the debris field's widest point, and pushed westward to where the debris field eventually becomes more narrow. But not only that, this massive seafloor slide is located directly in front of the Richat's path, as you can see from the reference locations on the
Yeah,
study
I see
when
it.
compared to the respective locations on planet Earth. And when I say that this seafloor slide is massive, observe the legend in the lower right. From my own estimation, it is 300 kilometers, or nearly 200 miles wide from east to west, and nearly 150 kilometers, or 100 miles wide, when measured from north to south. To put that east-west measurement into perspective, the debris field generated by this tsunami is more than 25% wider than the maximum width of Florida's peninsula.
Oh
Another
my
comparison
God.
is that it's virtually the same distance from Washington, D.C. to New York City. So the big question becomes, what on earth happened to send a biblical-sized tsunami, so
Yeah,
to speak,
that is the
through
question.
North Africa in the approximate neighborhood of 11?
Could you imagine? Could you imagine they were trying to like mess with like weapons and stuff like that back in the day, and they found a way to like control like the oceans and or like planetary controlment, right? Like HARPA or whatever the whatever the conspiracy is, right? Where like the weather, they can control the weather. Yo, could you imagine? And somehow like they messed up, and next thing you know, boom, they created a tsunami that hit themselves. Maybe, man.